Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Dorothy. I am a professional astrologer. You can find me on the web at nhastrologer.com. There you can contact me if you would like your own private sessions. And I'm teaching classes online. You can connect with me there as well. And Facebook, Dorothy Morgan Astrologer. So today what I want to do here is, and this is a new format for me. I've been watching and I've been trying to figure out if I want to do the whole year for each zodiac sign, or if I wanted to continue doing once a month for each zodiac sign. Now that is a huge amount of hours. I can't do it anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 3-month forecast for each zodiac sign. So January, February, March, or basically the winter months, the winter season, and I will work on that for you. And if you want to see the first part of the winter, you go back and you watch the December forecast for your zodiac sign. Okay, so this intro will be in every video, just so you know. Watch the time. If you want to go watch another one, you can skip past this point. All right, thank you for watching, and let me get started. Hi Capricorn. All right, this one's for you. We have the full moon in the sign of Cancer in your 7th house. Now, whenever there's a full moon in Cancer, emotions are heightened more so than typically, just because the moon owns the sign of Cancer, and she doesn't mind being in that sign. She's reflecting how we truly feel emotionally and really bringing that to the table. It's in your 7th house, and with it in your 7th house, that just means your partnerships and relationships are the highlight of this full moon. Very simple. So be aware of how you're emotionally responding and reacting and encouraging your partner. All right, let's do it very, very simply. We also have 4 planets in the sign of Capricorn during this time period, and when we do have that, that is in your 1st house, so that means the focus and the attention is on what you need, not necessarily what a partner needs. Could be a partner is overwhelming to you, and you're not getting any of your needs met, or you're being overly self-focused. You'll be able to decide, hopefully, and see which one it is for you. On the 5th of January, both Mercury and Venus move into your 2nd house as they shift into the sign of Aquarius. So this will be a pretty decent shift. This is a very analytical place for any planet, especially Mercury. Mercury is an air planet in the air sign. Venus and Aquarius in the 2nd house as well. What the Venus part does is it helps you to focus in on how you're using your skills and talents to earn the money that you want to earn. It's about your self-esteem. Mercury is in there as well. That's the communication planet. And with him being in the sign of Aquarius, it's very sharp-witted, very smart. Got a little bit of a sharp tongue going on there. So if something is winding you up, then you just, because it's threatening what you value, or you're needing to stand up for your own values, or stand up for yourself, which helps your self-esteem, and Mercury and Venus in that area is going to help that come to the surface so you're able to work with it. All right. Now, there's more with Mercury, but that will be in a minute. We also have, moving off to January 20th, we have the new moon in Aquarius. That is also your 2nd house. So it appears that for the month of the early part of January, or all of January, really, the focus is on what you value, what is how you're using your skills and talents, how you're earning money, your self-esteem, things that you own. You know, it's your own resources, your own personal resources. So that is being highlighted with the new moon in Aquarius, so you can set goals there. If you'd like to do something that's more interesting for you, something you love to do to earn money at, you can set a goal in that way. All right, so do it. Now on February 21st, Mercury will go retrograde in that same area. So with Mercury retrograde in that 2nd house, everything I've just said that you wanted to look to do and work on, it will be retrograde till February 11th. We'll be slowing down and we'll take a back seat to other things. So what we do is we go into the retrograde period, so just at the new moon on the 20th of January, and then on the 21st of January, Mercury's stationary, will not be moving. There'll be very little movement on those days. So go into this period, go into the 21st of January to February 11th with a list of things to do. I'm telling every sign this. It's what we need to do. And it will be related to your resources, your own personal resources. If you have things that you've been wanting to do and have not done them yet, do them during the retrograde. All right? Or complete projects that have been started before and complete them now during the retrograde. That's the best way to use this energy. Mercury's retrograde, you know, a third of the year. You can't wait for it to not be retrograde or not in a shadow, to do nothing. Just complete projects. I'm going to move on to February. February 3rd, the full moon in Leo will be in your 8th house. That full moon in Leo, that is a dramatic place for the moon, especially when it's a full moon. So emotions are going to be will be over the top for some people. When it's in your 8th house, for you who have Capricorn rising, you're not accustomed to that, especially if you're Capricorn. You don't like things being dramatic. But it's going to help you to shift your emotions and shift how you see someone else or how you handle your own transitions. Shifts and changes. A full moon in the 8th house is all about focusing in on the shifts and changes in life and allowing them and trusting them. So with that full moon in Leo, that's what you're looking for. Okay? All right. February 6th and 7th, we have Venus and Pluto making a nice connection by a sextile. And what this is all about is it's about relationships. And so in the transition that the relationships have. And so if you're involved in a relationship and you're ready to take it to another level, this Pluto connection is a very easy way for you to just step it up to more of a commitment and what feels good and comfortable for you. And when you do that, and that's just the trust in that aspect, in that transit. Now, if you're in a relationship too, here's the other side of the coin. If you're in a relationship and things aren't working and it's time for it to be over, you can easily transition out of this relationship without building up any bad karma, negative karma, and able to easily release it and let it go and accept it for what it is and what it was. And so this Venus-Pluto sextile is a very nice transit. It's a beautiful transit that we can work, and we can work that, you know, the February 6th and 7th. On February 11th, Mercury will be going direct, and again, that is Mercury in the sign of Aquarius in your 2nd house of values. So while Mercury is stationary around on February 11th, a few days on either side of that are also critical, because it's not a lot of critical in the sense that just don't push anything. There's not much that we can do in that time period. The new moon on February 18th is at 29 degrees of Aquarius. It will be in your 2nd house as well. 2 new moons in the 2nd house. You are going through a shift of values. A big shift of values at this point in life right now. So Capricorn, good luck with that. But you know, I mean it, I'm not being sarcastic. What it is you need to step outside that box that you're used to being into. You want things orderly and in order. But this Aquarius energy that's on either side of your 2nd house is really asking you to focus in and come up with some new and creative ideas. All right, about how you feel and what you value and how you're earning your money. It's a money time, a value, a self-esteem area, and a whole month for that. All right, so it's good for you. Shake it up a little. The sun will enter the sign of Pisces on the 18th in the evening, and that means that's also the same day that it goes. We have the new moon. There we go. I'm skipping a little bit here. So we're able to be more flexible, more changeable. That is in your 3rd house, so you're able to relax a little bit, exhale a little bit, get out in your neighborhood, talk to your siblings. Something, you know, once that sun moves into that sign of Pisces, there's just a more relaxed atmosphere. It's completely it's all about water, which is spirit. It's mutable, which is very flexible and changeable. So on the 18th of February in the evening on the east coast of the United States is when the sun enters the sign of Pisces. That last zodiac sign for the winter months here in the Northern Hemisphere. We're celebrating. So then on February 19th, Mars will enter his own sign, which is Aries. On the 20th, Venus enters the sign of Aries. And then on the 22nd of February, Venus and Mars will make a conjunction. And all of that goes on in your fourth house of home and family. So when Venus and Mars conjunct, it's usually about lovers coming together and everything that is involved in that. If you know what I mean, and you should, if you're a grown-up. I hope so. But what we can look at it here is that there's a lot going on at home. So if you have a partner, or where you're married, or whatever the situation is, it's all going on in the home sector of your chart. So how you want to be cared and nurtured for. It's a lot of very immediate energy in that situation. Immediate means it's like take action. If you need your partner to be something for you, then you ask them for it. And these two planets are together in this sector of your chart. That is a lot of energy and a lot of attention at home. So where we're private, where we do our most private things, and where we feel comfort and nurtured, where we can put on our sweatpants and not brush our hair. I mean, all of this is a lot of heightened information for you. So pay attention to what's coming up, whether you like it or not. Something can shift at this point in time for you in that sector of your life. On the 23rd of February, the Sun in Pisces will square Saturn in Sagittarius. It's kind of a mixed bag. The Sun-Saturn square can be restrictive and it's a little bit difficult, but they're both mutable signs, so there's some sort of flexibility allowed in this connection. And when that happens, it's not a harsh thing. It just means that there's a small challenge that's presented to us, so then we're able to just meet that challenge and step it up. The details will depend on other things in your astrology chart, but basically what it comes down to is if there is a challenge on the 23rd of February, meet it, and you'll be happy that you did. On the 23rd and the 24th of February, both Venus and Mars will make a trine to Saturn. And this is even better. This means that we're learning what we want in a relationship, and we're able to stabilize what we want in a relationship. And that happens from your home sector, again, over to the 12th house. And what that is whatever shifts and changes you needed to make with that active Mars and Venus in your 4th house, in your home sector, it can help stabilize things now since it's connecting to Saturn. You got to really like that a lot. Okay. So on the 25th of February, we have the Sun and Neptune conjunct. And when they're conjunct, what we need to pay attention to, and they're conjunct in Neptune in Pisces, and that's in your 3rd house of communication. So there's a little bit of a fog in the communication sector at this point in time. But the Sun is trying to burn off some of that fog by giving you an opportunity to allow things to flow. Any stresses, any hard angles, anything has been this energy can smooth those things out. There we go, is what I'm trying to say. All right, I want to move on to March, and we'll finish this up for you. On March 5th, we have the full moon in Virgo, and that full moon in Virgo is in your 9th house, and when the full moon's there, we're going to be focusing on what our education needs to be, or how we need to expand our awareness, or expand anything that we're working on or learning about, okay? On the 10th, we have a wonderful trine between Mars and Jupiter, and this is all about what you want and the creative way that you can express that. Jupiter and Uranus are also in a trine aspect, so it's like a grand, not a grand trine, but it's an intense trine. Jupiter increases everything it's in connection with. So Mars in Aries is all about that fire, that spitfire, and it's like, you know, right from home again, right from home. What this looks like to me is that there might be something going on at home that needs repairs, but you're willing to do it. You know, you've got what you want and you want to do something. There's some activity with finances because of where Jupiter is in Leo. Jupiter's retrograde. You might want to be refinancing your house to repair your home or to make an addition. When we also have right in that same time period on March 11th, Mars and Uranus are conjunct in your 4th house as well. So there is some big activity going on at home for you, Capricorn. So you really wanting to set some things and secure some stuff down, you know, with your own energy, your own sun energy of that Capricorn, how you want everything in order and you want it done now. You don't want everything to be chaotic. Well, there's a little bit of chaos in your life right now, and these are the energies that are causing it. So we're going to look at how that is important for you and what you want to do with that. And that will, the most important thing for you to do is to trust what you know and open that intuition up, okay? I hope you can do that for yourself. All right, next I want to look at the 14th. Saturn is going to be stationary, and then it will be moving retrograde for 4 months. And that is going to be in your 12th house. Now, when Saturn does move through the 12th house, it tends to have us spend a fair amount of time going within, a fair amount of time alone. And so if there's so much activity going on in your 4th house, which there is, then when Saturn starts a retrograde motion from that 12th house, then what you're going to be wanting to do, and Saturn through the 12th house is all about asking you or telling you or enforcing us sometimes to go within and spend more time within than we do out in the public. And this happens to everybody. It takes about 28 years for this to come back around, so it hasn't happened for 28 years, but it's happening now. It will take 2.5 years to move through this sector. Don't stuff anything that comes up. Allow what Saturn is bringing up to come up so you can face it and start doing that early and quickly. And that will be much better for you in the long run. If you need more information on that, which you will, because that one is very dynamic once it gets moving, you contact me for some sessions and I will help you out with that. I want to finish up with Venus in Taurus on March 17th, and that's going on in your 5th house. So that's really beautiful. That's beauty, that's energy. Some of the ways that you can release some of the stress that might be happening is through some creativity, creative expression, whatever you're passionate about. Whether it's painting, writing, singing, it doesn't matter. Venus moving into that sector is all about you finding your passion and expressing it, and please do it now. All right, don't wait. It's what you want to make a habit out of. All right, finally, the last thing I want to talk about, and really pay attention to this one, is that new moon solar eclipse that we have on March 20th. It is a super moon. It's 12 hours away from the spring equinox and the first day of the astrological calendar. So when we have a new moon eclipse, always very important eclipses, because the moon and the sun and the earth are lined up. So this is new energy for us. This is about setting new goals and really figuring out what they are. But how do we do that? It's at the last degree of the zodiac. It is the 29th degree of Pisces, is the last degree of the zodiac. So what we really need to do here is we need to reflect for 12 hours, because this new moon eclipse on the east coast of the United States is at 5:36 a.m. And when it's at 5:36 a.m., we have until 6:45 p.m. Just want you to reflect. Don't want you to set any new goals. All right? Here's a sentence. I'm going to put it on the screen, but I'm going to read it word for word, and because this is what I wrote out, and it feels really good. So we all have a chance to go over what our lives have been about over the last year and gather our thoughts so we can soon manifest something new that matches who we are now. So once we reflect and we release and let go, a piece of us goes with it, and then we're able to manifest the new. And you can start new goals and new anything that you want to, new goals, new rituals, whatever. You start them at 6:45 p.m. East Coast time in the United States, just for your time zone, and work that, because that's when the sun enters Aries. The moon's already in Aries by then, and the sun enters Aries, and then we're ready to immerse ourselves into new things. So the evening of the 20th of March is when we can really start immersing ourselves into the newness that this eclipse has to bring us. I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you for listening. You know, this one's chopped up a little bit. Blessed be. And I want to say namaste. Namaste.